Hi beekeepers, I wanted to share with you something that I touched on in a previous video, but I thought maybe I'd come back and spend a little bit more time with it. I've got a video on how I've converted 200 Langstroth frames into Layens frames, and that's what I've got here in front of me now, is one of my Layens frames. But there was a section towards the end, I think it was like step 8 or something like that, and I was showing you that I use plastic foundation and I cut it on a table saw and use it for starter strips. So I just wanted to spend a little time with you talking about why that works so well. I actually picked this up from one of my students. I was just over at his house and he asked me to take a look at his bees, and he knows that I teach people how to use natural comb, or let the bees make their own natural comb. And so what he did was he had some foundation in his barn from some frames, Langstroth frames, and he just did the same thing. He put them on a table saw, a sheet of foundation like this. In fact, I think it was already installed in the frame. So he disassembled the frame, took it out and ripped it down into 1-inch starter strips, which is what I've got in here. And he went ahead and used that, and man, was that comb ever straight. He leveled the hive just the way you're supposed to, and that's real important. If you're gonna let your bees draw their own comb, the hive has to be level. And I've got some videos that show that, but just basically so you understand it, bees will draw plumb from top to bottom. Okay, so knowing that, you can't have your hive a little bit crooked. So let me just exaggerate it just for a second. Let's say your hive is crooked this way. The bees are going to draw straight here. They're going to draw up and down this way. So that's going to throw everything off, and what will wind up happening is the bees will start to draw the comb on one frame and it will end on another. So you'll have 2 or more of the frames stuck together. So you want to make sure that your hive is level, and if you do that, you can use wood popsicle sticks as starters. Now I've tried that and I've actually found something that works better for me in my experience, and that is the plastic. And I have some wax, and this is wax foundation. So I'll take a pizza wheel and I'll just cut this into 1-inch strips, and it doesn't have to be exact. You can do, some people do as big as 4 inches. Honestly, I've gone as low as 3/4 of an inch when I'm really trying to stretch out the amount of material that I have. If I'm building a lot of frames and I see that I'm going to run out of maybe wax or starter strips, I'll start cutting that down to 3/4 of an inch. It works. Trust me, it works. And the reason why I think it works a little bit better than the popsicle stick method is because it's already got the hexagon cell stamped in it. And the bees, when they start to hang, they've already got that hexagon shape in their heads as they're hanging and beginning to secrete the wax out of their body, and it just seems to work better. So maybe try that out and tell me what you think, if you try both methods or not. But you could use, again, the wax starter strips or the plastic, which is what I'm using here. Actually, I use both, but I've got a bunch of this plastic that I actually bought for this specific reason. I'm not going to use it for anything else except to rip it down into 1-inch strips and then put that into my Layens hive, or Layens frames I should say. And like I say, this worked really, really well. I've seen it work for other people, and I've used the wax and had really good success with using the 1-inch starter strip of wax. But now I've went ahead and just done what I saw my friend do, which was use the plastic. So that's just a tip for today that I just wanted to expand on just a little bit, that maybe you guys that want to let your bees draw their own natural comb, but you want them to draw it nice and straight, that's what you need to do. Well, that's my tip for today, guys. I hope that you're finding these tips helpful, especially for you folks that are venturing into the Layens hive system. There's not a lot of information out there, and that's why I've decided to go ahead and make these videos so that I can share with you some of the things I'm already experiencing. And some of you folks have reached out to me by email, giving me some feedback, and very positive feedback, by the way, and I appreciate that. So if these tips are helping you along your journey, then that makes my day. I really want that for you guys. I want this to be successful for you. So don't forget, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. That way other people will be able to find it. And then if you subscribe, you'll be able to see some of the new videos that I put out in the future. So I'm always trying to find some information that'll help you in your journey. So until next time, friends, enjoy beekeeping.